10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Utkarsh Tandon, and I welcome you to yet another interactive post-match analysis session. KXIP won the game convincingly against Kolkata Knight Riders, and mind you, I'll repeat the word convincingly, as we are habitual of KXIP's win, but the game always going down to the wire. This time around, it was a different story, as it wasn't a nail biter. It was an easy win. The game didn't go down to the wire, and KXIP won it in 18.5 overs. A brief backdrop before we'll be joined by Mr. Monty Panesar for the much of the analysis. A brief backdrop is that Kings 11 Punjab won the toss. That is, their skipper KL Rahul elected to bowl first. And in reply, KKR were 3 down within 2 overs at the score of 10 runs. Nitish Rana, Rahul Tripathi, Dinesh Karthik all were sent back to the pavilion by KXIP's bowlers. Then there was a partnership between skipper Owen Morgan, who looked in good touch, has made 40 runs of 25 deliveries, while Shubman Gill scored a gritty 50. 81 runs stand between these two to stabilize KKR's innings, but with the fall of Owen Morgan, it was the fall of KKR as they ended at 149 for 9 in 20 overs. There'll be questions on why Kamlesh Nagarkoti was sent up the order when you had Pat Cummins on the bench sitting. Then 150, a cakewalk for Kings 11 Punjab, and it looked like Kings 11 Punjab were playing on a different wicket, whereas KKR batters played on a different wicket. As they got out KL Rahul. KL Rahul scored 28 of 25 deliveries. Varun Chakravarti got him out in the power play. After the power play. In the power play, they tried to hit the ball, but they couldn't just get the timing, and they scored 36 for no loss, Kings 11 Punjab. After that, Varun Chakravarti got KL Rahul, but it was the Gale Storm again. The universe boss fired, scoring 57 of just 29 deliveries, while Mandeep Singh, who again opened the innings, remained unbeaten at 66 of just 56 balls and took Kings 11 Punjab towards victory. So this was the backdrop of the match, and again Lockie Ferguson didn't bowl in the power play. So yes, and we have Usman with us. Hello, Usman. Now India squad. One more big news today is that इंडिया की जो तीनों फॉर्मेट की स्क्वाड है अगेंस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया टूर करना है इंडिया को दिसंबर में, वो अनाउंस हो गई है. 32 मैन स्क्वाड. आई विल रिपीट द स्क्वाड फॉर यू. Starting with the T20 international squad, T20I squad, we have Kohli, Virat Kohli as the captain, then Shikhar Dhawan, Mayank Agarwal, KL Rahul, vice captain and wicket keeper. Then we have Shreyash Iyer, Manish Pandey, Hardik Pandya, Sanju Samson, wicket keeper again. Ravindra Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Yuzvendra Chahal, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Navdeep Saini, Deepak Chahar, and a newcomer, Varun Chakravarti. The mystery spinner, had two big news for him today, as he was involved, or rather called up for the T20Is against Australia, and also got the wicket of the orange cap holder KL Rahul. So again, a big missing for me is Surya Kumar Yadav. He's not there, still not there in the T. He still could not make the cut in the T20 internationals. And Rohit Sharma, as you all heard it right, I didn't mention Rohit Sharma because Rohit Sharma is not there in the squad due to his hamstring injury. And if it is so grave that he is not included for the tour down under in November and December, it indirectly means that Rohit Sharma will not play the remaining games of the IPL. So let's hope and wait for an update of on Rohit Sharma from Mumbai Indians. An official update is yet to come. Now moving to ODI squad. ODI squad, again Virat Kohli the captain, Shikhar Dhawan, Shubman Gill, KL Rahul again vice captain and wicket keeper. Shreyas Iyer, Manish Pandey, Hardik Pandya, Mayank Agarwal, Ravindra Jadeja, Yuzvendra Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Navdeep Saini and Shardul Thakur. What we witnessed in both the squads for the limited overs game is that there's no Rishabh Pant in the side now. So Rishabh Pant has been excluded from both the limited overs squad, be it T20Is, be it ODIs. Now coming on to the test squad, very important one. Virat Kohli the captain, Mayank Agarwal, Prithvi Shaw, KL Rahul, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, vice captain. Hanuma Vihari, Shubman Gill, Ridhiman Saha, wicketkeeper. Rishabh Pant included in the test squad as wicketkeeper. Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Umesh Yadav, Navdeep Saini, Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Mohammad Siraj. So two new inclusions, Mohammad Siraj and Navdeep Saini. Uh, Four additional bowlers will travel with the team, and it includes Kamlesh Nagarkoti, Karthik Tyagi, Ishan Porel, and T. Natarajan. T. Natarajan was impressed with his Yorkers in this IPL. Now, there is a statement on Rohit Sharma and Ishan Sharma as well that BCCI medical team will monitor the progress of Rohit Sharma and Ishan Sharma. So, this is the press release which I read out, and no Bhuvneshwar Kumar again because of the injury, due to injury. And as I mentioned, newcomers Varun Chakravarti in the T20I squad and Mohammad Siraj and Navdeep Saini in the Test squad. But still, there's no Surya Kumar Yadav. So now I'll just take the comments or किसी को हाँ I'll take the comments. So now I have with me Aman. Hello Aman, how are you?
Yes, thank you
Hello.
so much, and hello, and how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I
So,
have Mumbai Indians as well. Hello, hello. जो भी आपका नाम है, sir. Mumbai Indians. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
and,
Aman.
and and my first question is, what Surkumar Yadav did wrong? Why didn't he pick
Uh,
for one days as well as T20 also?
See, कोई भी सबसे पहले तो there was no press conference held via video conferencing. This meeting was held, and on the Twitter handle they issued a press release. So had there been a press conference, this question would have been asked. But till now, there's ambiguity and there's no official statement on it. So I don't know why he could not make the cut. But hopefully, before the T20 World Cup, I think. But for the T20s, he still has a chance because before the T20 World Cup, India will, or rather, we'll have another IPL to watch. So let's wait for the IPL and let's wait. Let's hope that he does well.
And another one is Rishabh Pant's overrating does maybe Indian team or selectors look for, but he get place in test team, but not in limited cricket.
See, what I feel is the message is loud and clear from the selection panel that we are looking at KL Rahul as our limited overs wicket-keeper batsman. The message is loud and clear from the selection panel.
But if you look at test squad, there's a two young brigade, especially in pace batting, Deep Saini along with Navdeep Saini, Siraj. So, uh, are you seeing any game for them in Australia, or just a bench, or just a tour of Australia and experience how Australian wickets are?
I envisage that Navdeep Saini could get a game because of his raw pace and his ability to move the ball. And we should not forget that Navdeep Saini is best in the red ball cricket. He got his name, earned his name in the Ranji Trophy playing red ball cricket, where Gautam Gambhir scouted him and he was bowling with the tennis ball, and then suddenly he was handed over a leather ball. So where Navdeep Saini is the best is with the red ball, and I envisage that Mohammad Siraj might not get a game, but Navdeep Saini could get a game in the tour down under, especially in the absence of Ishant Sharma.
And I am shocked with the decision of selectors, especially when we look for their test squad. It's we sure.
Uh, See, test squad. I wasn't expecting anything different. Were you expecting anything different? Anything?
Yes, I'm expecting maybe I was looking for Surya again because he played again well in domestic cricket also and he can open
See,
maybe.
Surya Kumar Yadav, if at all he is in the scheme of things for the selectors, he is in the limited overs, not for test cricket. Because for the test matches, I think our squad was pretty much balanced and pretty much well known. So I think if Surya at all was in the scheme of things, that was for the shortest format, be it T20Is, or can be considered for ODIs as well, but not for the test. I don't think selectors had something for Surya Kumar Yadav in the test squad.
And are you expecting any game for Shubman Gill ahead of Hanuma Vihari?
I don't think ahead of Shubman Gill will be played ahead of Hanuma Vihari, because Hanuma Vihari, we should remember that he's a one format player. He only plays test cricket. So unless and until something happens with his form, I don't think Shubman Gill will get to play ahead of Hanuma Vihari.
And as
Now,
our
probably we'll
yes,
talk about it. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it. Definitely, we'll. It's a big news. We'll talk about it. But today, coming on to the game,
yes.
uh, Faji will be joining us in a few moments. What KKR did, I just want means it's KKR. KKR made a joke out of them. Made a joke out of them. I'd like to mention these words because 10 for 3. The other afternoon, Narayan got you runs. Other afternoon, Rana got you runs. You were over the moon. Varun Chakravarti picked 5 wickets, and that day, if anyone remembers, I told that it wasn't only the brilliance of Varun Chakravarti, it was the poor shot making from the Delhi batters which got him wickets. It was the poor shot making from Delhi's batters. Again, now chronically talking in a chronological order, KKR while batting they were 10 for 3 after two. Okay, you are 10 for 3. Rahul Tripathi again. He doesn't know his place at number 7, opening number 3, number 4. No batting position is set for Rahul Tripathi. That is done. Nitish Rana out of 7 games, out of last 7 games, 6 games he's got single digit score. Uh, and in the seventh one, that is the previous game where he got 80, 81, yeah, 82 runs. If you leave aside, then out of last seven, in the last out of the last 7, he's got single digits in 6 of the games. Then you move to Morgan and Gill. They were batting well, 81 run stand after Morgan's wicket. Why did you send Kamlesh Nagarkoti over Pat Cummins? Pat Cummins gave you some good runs in the past in this tournament only, and why did you send Kamlesh Nagarkoti over Pat Cummins? I don't know what actually was going through the minds of Brendan McCullum and Owen Morgan. I mentioned Brendan McCullum, because It wasn't a call whole and soul taken by the captain Owen Morgan. It was a call. It was a collective call by Morgan
Team.
and Brendan McCullum. Meaning to say is that team management was involved.
Yes.
Now, uh, coming on to the second innings, where Punjab were 36 for 0 in the power play, 6 overs.
Ye-
You didn't bowl a single over with Lockie Ferguson in the power play. Means any you cannot contain 149. Any chance you had was to pick early wickets. What Punjab did, Punjab just shattered your batting order. Took 3 wickets within first 2 overs. You were down for three at the score of just 10 runs. You needed to do the same. Attack right from the start. Cummins and Ferguson to bowl in tandem. I don't know what was the strategy there. And then it was the universe boss. It was the Gale Storm which swept away Kolkata Knight Riders, and Punjab now make it to the top four. They are the fourth. They are at the fourth position and likely to qualify. Means
Yes.
yesterday we were talking about that it is going to be the virtual quarter final. Although now also we have seven teams apart except for CSK. Uh, Means except for CSK, all the other seven teams are there in the race for qualification. But Punjab has now taken a step closer to qualify for the playoffs. And had KKR won this game, they would have been more closer. I think they would have uh, probably sealed their place, and they just required a win more had they won this game. So poor match on the part of KKR. Another at the same time a thumping victory for the Kings 11 Punjab. Fifth win on the trot means it started from the victory over RCB, then RCB, BC, MI, SRH, and today it's KKR. So thumping victory for Kings 11 Punjab, an emphatic win, and now they are in the top four. That is because no one, actually, to be honest, no one considered Punjab that will come back in this fashion.
Yeah,
Means
especially in
five
the.
wins on the trot, and now they are qualifying, on the verge of qualifying and making it to the playoffs. So if they make the cut, then I think probably one of those comebacks which would be remembered for ages to say. Yeah, now if
Yes.
any comments, any questions, Aman, you can continue. Any comments,
Yes.
any
Yes.
questions?
Yes. Actually, I would
Viewers,
like to start.
please, I'm sorry to interrupt, Aman. Viewers, I've actually sent the link in the live chat window. I've dropped the link. You can click the link and join in. Yes, continue.
Yes, sir. And I would like to start with the KKR's batting. Yes, it is a difficult moment and difficult time for Nitish Rana. It's okay, but uh, if KKR don't want to use Pat Cummins, and Pat Cummins is not taking wickets, and if you want to use Pat Cummins just because you paid 15.4 crores to him, 40 crores to him, it is not the right time, and it is not the right fact to use him, because you can use Tim Seifert ahead of Pat Cummins if Pat Cummins is not performing, and you are not going to use him as a batsman also. But if you look at the top order, there is nothing, because when top four batsmen, when out of top four batsmen, two got on duck, it means you are in deep trouble. And if you take a look at Dinesh Karthik again, again on four. Why Dinesh Karthik? Because Dinesh Karthik established himself as a finisher, as a good finisher, and he proved in last two in last two IPLs. I don't know why Ian Morgan is not coming up to the
Yeah.
order ahead of Dinesh Karthik, and why Dinesh Karthik again and again sending up to the order. And Sunil Narayan's again, he's a kind of batsman. He'll score runs someday, and
Viewers, you
but
can join
not.
in. Viewers, you can join in with the link I have dropped in the live chat window. You can join in. I have Anurag with us now. Hello, Anurag. How are you? Most welcome.
Yeah, fine, 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 fine.
Virtual quarterfinal today and a very crucial game. KXIP clinched it. And the first game where KXIP is won the game, and we are not talking about biting our nails. We are not talking about a thriller because convincing victory for Kings 11 Punjab this time. So today, Indian squad for the tour down under, that is for the Australian tour, has also been announced. As a fan, I like to take both of your opinions on the Indian squad. What do you feel?
See, the squads. First of all, the game Kings in Punjab won it. It is a good game for the franchisee. But talking about the bigger point, that is the Indian team, I would like to say that really happy with the way that they have picked out the team. Missing Rohit Sharma, and I believe this happens.
Yeah.
This happens. I have been saying this time and again that after IPL we do have some losses, we do have some injuries. At this time we have Rohit Sharma who's
Yes.
injured, but nonetheless we have all the bowlers who are very much, I think, needed for the Australian tour, because without bowlers you can't win the Australian tour. It's impossible. And
Agree.
basically this tour becomes much important as well because we have the test World Test Championship coming up. So with the coronavirus attacking and the schedule getting a bit watched up, so we don't know that who is going to play whom. So this is very important tour, whether it's the T20, whether it's the ODI, and I feel the team which has been picked has been really good, with especially taking up two wicket keepers for the Test squad, that is Saha and Rishabh Pant, and also picking up some good players for the T20 and ODI. And I think uh, Virat has again gone back to Ashwin and Jadeja for the overseas tour, just keeping in mind that the last time they did well. So it's like a tried and tested players. I hope they are fit enough. I hope they are raring to go. That's more important when you tour Australia.
Yeah. And probably Rohit, three big, as you mentioned, the IPL will have some losses for you. Three big losses. Bhuvneshwar Kumar out due to injury. Uh, Rohit Sharma, hamstring injury. Ishan Sharma again out due to injury. A statement which was mentioned in the press release that okay, so now I have Paji with us, so I'll take him, join him. Sat Sri Akal, Paji. How are you?
Sat Sri Akal. Yes, very well, thank you.
Yes, Sada Punjab fifth win on the trot, and now they've made it to the top four now.
Yeah, it's been a good sort of time for Punjab Kings. Chasing 150. Um, I don't know why they changed the batting order. What was the need? Sunil Narayan doing so well at the top of the order. DK at 5 or 6. There's too much changes happening, with KKR. They've already changed the captaincy. Just stick to the batting order. Just stick to it. Don't change the game plan. It's working for you. Why change it? And it went against them. Everything went against them today. So I just don't know why they changed. Why would you change Sunil Narayan not opening the batting when
So
I don't get it.
it's very ironical that the previous game KKR won by 59 runs. Varun, a thumping victory. Varun Chakravarti 5 wicket haul, best figures in the IPL. This time around, they lost by 8 wickets. And
Yeah.
again, Kings 11 Punjab, a team which is habitual of playing some thrillers, nail biters. But this time around, a convincing victory for Kings 11 Punjab. Convincing win for Kings 11 Punjab as they finished the game in 18.5 overs. No thriller, no nail biting finishes, no shocks. They finished it really well.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. And Uh, for me, it's look for me. It's basically has been, um, it's just been one of them things. So where it hasn't been that good, for Punjab Kings 11. They've really struggled, and it hasn't been the best of things. But give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, no issues.
I'm still
So,
here.
yeah, no issues, no issues. You can take your time, Paji. So, Anurag, you were in the meantime, you can actually complete the point which you were making. Your mic, please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I feel is that, especially seeing Shubman Gill being in the team, now he has played well here. Now it would definitely boost him going into that tour. So that's a good thing. But at the same time, we need to see that how this team will get together again, because I think it's quite a long gap when they played as a Team India. So that is also going to be a
Yeah.
factor, which I think Virat is keeping that in mind, and he keeps that in mind before going for such a. I think it's a very much, you can say the intensity is always up. This tour,
Yeah.
even if there is a dead rubber between India and Australia, is going to be a very intensified game of cricket.
Yeah, you
So let's
always see that high octane clashes between India and Australia. Very, and this time with Steve Smith and David Warner in the Australian team, it's a very hyped up series, and everyone was waiting for this series right a year ago.
and, and
Yeah,
basically Australians, they are always there for revenge. They wouldn't have forgotten the last tour, that how they got lost so early in the series, and then they were not able to even draw the series. They lost it, and even they were in fact losing it badly. They somehow escaped that loss in the last test. So not much of years have gone by, especially when generally after 4 years of, but this time only after a few years gap, couple of years gap, we are getting Australia
yeah.
again.
So Paji is back. So Paji, to start off from the first innings, 10 for 3 KKR. In within just 2 overs, Shami and Maxwell cleaned them up. Then 81 runs stand between Owen Morgan and Shubman Gill, which stabilized KKR. But uh, Kamlesh Nagarkoti ahead of Pat Cummins, means Pat Cummins, who has contributed some crucial runs for you in this tournament. Pat Cummins was on the bench, and Kamlesh Nagarkoti was in the middle batting.
Yeah, look, you know what it is. Why are KKR making so many changes?
Just to add
Like,
on, so I'm really sorry, Paji, just to add on my question that you answer it combinedly. It's a call of only and only Owen Morgan, because Owen Morgan, the captain of England, is looking different as Owen Morgan, the captain of KK, or it's Baz who is included, the team management, a collective call.
I don't know what's going on. They found a winning formula and they keep changing it, and they just sort of putting themselves in a position where then, like if next year the owners say we don't want Brendan McCullum or Owen Morgan as captain, they've got they're going to say, look, you guys won one game, you changed another, you don't really, you're not sticking to a game plan or anything. Then they put themselves at risks, and as a coach and as a captain, that's what you should be doing. Like Sunil Narayan did really well in the last game. So you kind of say, right, he's going to open the batting. We're going to get him to keep opening the batting. And DK is brilliant at 5 or 6. He shouldn't be at 4's too high for him. But I don't know, like this constant change is not helping DK. And you look at, when you're performing well and a team is performing well, they tend to, what they tend to do is everyone's got their roles. Everyone has a clear role. This is where I'm going to bat and this is where I am. If you keep chopping and changing these situations and then you lose the game, then you've only the captain and the coach are to blame here. They're like, you guys make the final decision on the batting order, on the team selection, and if you're gonna, keep doing that, then they're putting themselves at risk,
Because
really, aren't they?
Paji, because in the post-match presentation in that afternoon game between KKR and which side it was, I don't know. It was DC, where Sunil Narayan was sent at number 5, and Owen Morgan bluntly in the post-match presentation said that it was a card played by Baz, done in McCullum, and I had nothing to do in it. So it was the call of Brendan McCullum, and today I don't know why that card changed, but Rahul Tripathi, another batter who did not who didn't have a set batting position. Someday he's sent at 7, someday he'll open the innings, someday at 3, someday at 4. So, as you mentioned, too much of chopping and changing in the batting order, has it really hurt KKR?
I think it's pretty obvious. You look at DK, he's probably thinking, 1 minute I'm hitting the ball out on the ground, next minute I've got to build an innings, and it makes it very difficult, for you as a player to think, well, what should we be doing? Because what can you say?
There's a question from Aman. Does KKR playing to win the tournament or just to test all the batsmen at each number?
I think Aman is spot on. I think it's look. Sunil Narayan opening the bat in the last match was a good call. Was a good risk. Now, when you, as a team, make these different risks.
Batted at 5.
Yeah. Look, Sunil Narayan batted at 5, but the last game he opened the batting. 64 runs of 30.
In the last game, yes, he batted at 5 in the last game. Nitish Rana opened the batting.
Yeah. Sorry, he batted at 5 in the last game. So, what my point is that these experiments are great, but I think there's something going on in the camp which we don't know.
Yes, you mentioned it earlier as well.
There is something. Something's not right at KKR, and we'll probably find out once the tournament's over.
Yes, because you mentioned, means we talked about one more point, that Owen Morgan, the captain of England, is more aggressive in his approach, but Owen Morgan, the captain of KKR, has a different approach altogether. Means today also, if you look, Lockie, you had a chance only and only when you picked wickets up front, what Punjab did. Paji, I want your opinion on this, that Lockie Ferguson again didn't bowl a single over in the power play. Means he came in the 11th over.
Yeah, it's like some of the fans would say that let's get different bowlers. If we have a winning formula in place, what KKR do is they change the formula for the next match. And let's see if we can win a game of cricket. We're not going to stick to the formula of winning. We're going to stick to the formula of changing the formula and see if we can win another game of cricket. And it's not going to, it's, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the camp.
And
something probably not right.
As you mentioned yesterday, that Gale will fire. So today, Universe boss, or rather Gale Storm, swept away KKR. 51 of 29 deliveries. But your take on Mandeep Singh, again opened the innings and actually finished for Punjab, unbeaten, 66 of 56 deliveries. Took that responsibility.
Yeah, he did, and he was absolutely brilliant. So, in my humble opinion, I thought he's had a really good tournament at the latter stages.
Yes, and Paji, a word on Ravi Bishnoi. We've talked much about the young leg spinner Ravi Bishnoi. Today also, only one maiden was bowled from Punjab, and that to Ravi Bishnoi.
Absolutely. So look, I'm not really sure what how Ravi Vishnu is feeling, but I think he's probably feeling good. But glad I'm playing the IPL this year because I'm doing very well.
Yeah. One question for you. Monty sir, as you said, something going wrong in KKR's management. So are they missing an experienced coach?
I don't know what it is, Brendan McCullum is a
Paji
perfect
will,
fit. He's done really
Paji will
well.
find it out at the end of the tournament and will actually come up with that at the end
Yeah,
of the tournament. So wait till the
something will
end.
get revealed. We'll find out. Don't worry. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. So GBS viewers, please keep your cool. Paji will tell this at the end of the tournament. So now I have viewers waiting for you for a long time. Yes, Aman and Rohan, followed by Rohan.
Oh, so Rohan first. I'm the first, or Aman?
Yeah, continue. Rohan.
So I would like to ask that was not playing Gale in the initial stage was a bad decision for Punjab, and now as we are seeing that Gale is being an asset for them in the later stage of the game. So should they have opted him in the earlier stage? The condition would have been that right now they would have been in the top four, and they wouldn't have to rely on others, as now there are chances that they can rely on others. So, what's your take on this?
My take is, yeah, I agree with you. It's good to rely on others, and it takes the pressure off you. And what happens is that you win game of cricket.
It's a very good
Very good question.
point.
Yes. And the next
So
one?
yeah, Maxwell. See again, Maxwell today picked a wicket and 2 overs, 21 runs. Maxwell for the last few games has been constantly contributing while bowling, not in the batting aspect, but while bowling, he's been contributing since last 4 5 games. So that is
Yeah,
why he's
and
been dropped.
it's strange well, it's crazy to think that 5 games when the first IPL started, first 5 games, he wasn't performing at all. But I guess for Maxwell, he probably needs an experienced player that he can look up to. You look at that Australian team when he's playing T20 cricket. He looks up to Aaron Finch, David Warner, Mitchell Stark. He always likes to be the underdog, the guy who he needs to look up to, rather than you're the main man now. He's the one sort of, look, you know, I'm the one who's not the big player like Steve Smith or these guys. So when he goes out to bat, he's got a point to prove to them. But in Punjab 11, when Chris Gale is there, then I think he's much more comfortable not being the main player. And that's something that I think Anil Kumble needs to work out. I think, okay, to get the best out of Glenn Maxwell, we can't make him feel like you're the senior pro here. You're like, um, you know, sort of the attention isn't so much on him, but rather than the other bigger players out there. I think when you just make him the main player, the main marquee player, it doesn't work for him. So since Chris Gale's returned, all the attention's been on Chris Gale. And
Yeah.
that's helped Glenn Maxwell to perform.
Okay. So now Aman, you're back. Yes, go ahead. He was
Hello, sir.
waiting for
Sir.
you. Paji.
Hello, sir. And so my question, as Pat Cummins is not taking wickets for KKR for a long time, and in previous match he picked up, but is it the time for replace Pat Cummins with Tim Seifert, because Tim Seifert can bat and can give them a great start from power in the power plays.
Yeah. Oh, look, I agree with you. You need to have a good batting team together for the power play, and it's you know it's an art. Each death bowling, power play. It's you train for these skills. You can't just 1 minute change the batting order and then suddenly you do different. It doesn't work like that. And that's been the concern for me when it came to KKR. Like, you're chopping and changing, but DK is probably thinking, am I what am why am I batting at 4? DK is too high. 4 is too high for DK. or keep him there for the whole season.
Yeah.
It confuses batsmen, it confuses players. It's a difficult task having to stick into one position and just getting that right is far more important than changing the order all the time or changing the bad bowling or doing this, doing that. Then it's not going to help you, not going to help anyone. So, what can you do? What can you do?
And if you look at the top three of KKR, means Gill, Rana, and Rahul Tripathi. You look at the top three of any other franchisee, means even CSK, you have Fab du Plessis, Shane Watson, and Ambati Raidu. The weakest top three, Paji?
Good question. Very good question. I will say it's KKR. I think Shubnam Gill done really well. He's done really, really well. But he hasn't really kicked on, has he? Have we seen 175, 200 strike rate from him? He bats in that 125, 150 range. He's done it long enough. We need to kick on now. Next level, mate. First 6 overs, get 30 off 10 balls, 30 off, I don't know if he's that sort of power player. If he's not that type of player, then innings should be built around him. He bats all the way through as long as he can. Others come in and they give it a whack,
Also, if you're a slow starter, you take time at the start, then you need to capitalize on the start which you've got.
Well, this is it. You can't do you remember the RCB game where Vera and De Villiers in the last one got out together? Yeah. This is what it is. Is the game plan is if one of them get out, then the guys who's already in, he stays in, and the other guy who comes in, then you both can't go for the boundary option. We cannot afford to lose two. We can't have two new batters together. So, you're in that sort of period of we'd rather lose the new batter than actually the batter's already in. So the new one coming in, you take the risk. From ball one, go for the boundary options. While the batter's in, you are gonna just consolidate. When you can't afford to have two new batters at the crease, because then what ends up happening is what happened today with KKR. You lose.
And
149 for 9, and it's all Sunda Punjab.
This is the dialogue which I was waiting for. This actually made the show. And Paji, you rightly mentioned you can't leave your team in middle muddle situation. You can't leave your team in a dwindling situation where you have taken your time at the start and you didn't capitalize, and your team now lacked the final flourish.
Yeah. So for me, it's having a very clear game plan. We lose a wicket, the batsman's in, you are going to play the less risky shots. The new batter coming in, you go in. If the ball's there, you give it a whack. And if you get out, that's fine. The next new batter comes in. But the batsman's already in, we're building around him now. And that's that's very simple game plan I've given, but that's how it needs to be. You can't afford the batsman who's already in to say, right, well, the new batter's in, he doesn't know the pace of the pitch. It's a high risk option for him to go boundaries. I will go for it. And then if he gets out, you have two new batters, then you're consolidating. So you don't want to be in a position where the team's consolidating in an innings, because then it restricts you. So I think they haven't really quite worked out their rhythm in batting. What's their game plan? What should they look to do? Should they actually, if a batsman gets out, should both batters actually play low risk shots? And once after a couple of overs, right, who's going to go for the risky shots?
Yes.
Who's going to make that decision? And On
the other hand, looking at Punjab, 5th consecutive win, they are on a roll. So, do you see Punjab at 4 now?
Punjab are playing at their best. Punjab are playing like Anil Kumble played Test cricket. He got,
Yeah.
every ounce of wickets out of him. I don't think he could have got any more than 619. He pushed himself to the brink. I remember when he, broke that jaw and he got lava out. Like,
Yes.
no one does
Lara.
that. He's a fighter, mate. He's a supreme
Yes.
fighter within himself. And he's pushing Punjab Kings to that edge every time. For them to win it, I don't know if they'll win it. We need, I think.
A very curious question. As you mentioned, the fighter and the fight our Punjab is showing. This is where the coach matters. Brendan McCullum and Anil Kumble, this is where the coach matters.
Look, it's easy to say. You should have asked Anil Kumble 5 games ago. You probably would have thought, oh, why did I take up the IPL job? I'm losing every game. I'm getting close and we lose. And now 5 games later, he's thinking, oh, this is the best thing that has ever happened to me. So, T20 cricket is very fickle. So you've got to have these little basic game plans and stick to them. Some games you win, some games you lose, but what KKR are doing, it's they're putting pressure on themselves and within the camp. So the last thing you want is the people in KKR kind of like the group kind of disappearing in their own little smaller groups. That's going to make things worse. They've got to find a way of thinking that, right, it was a coach's call. This is how we wanted the batting order to be, and it didn't go our day today. Right, we move on to the next game, and that's it. You can't be like worrying about these things too much.
Yeah. And today, Paji, another breaking news came today. 32-man squad was announced for the tour down under to Australia. So, have you seen this squad till now?
No, I haven't. Who's in the squad?
See, I'll repeat for you, starting from the T20Is. Virat Kohli captain, Shikhar Dhawan, Mayank Agarwal in the T20 squad, KL Rahul vice captain, wicket keeper. Shreyas Iyer, Manish Pandey, Hardik Pandya, Sanju Samson, wicket keeper. Ravindra Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Yuzvendra Chahal, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Navdeep Saini, Deepak Chahar, and Varun Chakravarti. The mystery spinner has been called up for the T20 as Rohit Sharma is not there in any of the 3 formats due to his injury, which indirectly means that he's out of the IPL for the remaining games. Let's wait for the official confirmation by Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, I think that's going to be then very difficult for Mumbai Indians to win now. So I think it's either Delhi Capitals, could be RCB, could be Punjab Kings now. So
yeah. So this squad, any comment on this T20 guys squad?
Well, I thought maybe the young leggy would have got a go from Punjab Kings. He's had a good season, but there's still Chahal from RCB. So yeah, I think
and there's no Kuldeep Yadav. See, Varun Chakravarti, that mystery spinner, has been included. There's no Kuldeep Yadav in the squad.
Yeah, well, he's not getting in the KKR team. So how would you justify his spot to be in the Indian team if he's not playing regular T20 cricket for KKR?
For the ODIs, we have Virat Kohli captain, Shikhar Dhawan, Shubman Gill, KL Rahul again captain, vice captain and wicket keeper. Then Shreyas Iyer, Manish Pandey, Hardik Pandya, Mayank Agarwal, Ravindra Jadeja, Yuzvendra Chahal. In this, we have Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Navdeep Saini, and Shardul Thakur.
Yeah, sounds a good squad to me. Yeah.
And the most important one, the most hyped, most high octane games, Test cricket for last one. Virat Kohli, the captain, Mayank Agarwal, Prithvi Shaw, KL Rahul is back into the 4 as far as Test cricket is concerned. Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, vice captain. Hanuma Vihari, Shubman Gill, Ridhiman Saha, wicket keeper. Rishabh Pant, wicket keeper. Bumrah, Shami, Umesh Yadav, Navdeep Saini, Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Mohammad Siraj.
Oh, that's
Husaini
good
and
to
Siraj.
see. Yeah, good to see Mohammed Siraj in the squad. That's a good plus for him. I guess I guess you can see how strong the senior team is. You know, it's difficult for a youngster to come through, but it's I'm happy for Mohammed Siraj. You know, that's really good.
Yeah.
Good to see him in the
And
test team.
Navdeep Saini is also included.
Well, he was always going to be
And
the case. He bowls fast anyway.
yeah, four additional bowlers who will travel: Kamlesh Nagarkoti, Karthik Tyagi, Ishan Porel, and T. Natarajan.
Oh, lovely.
Four
Yeah,
bowlers travel.
that's a good selection.
Three losses. No Bhuvneshwar Kumar due to injury. Three losses which IPL gave. No Bhuvneshwar Kumar, no Ishan Sharma, no Rohit Sharma. Although they'll monitor the progress of Ishant and Rohit. But Paji, my question to you is, no Rishabh Pant in the limited overs format means a clear statement that we are heading towards KL Rahul as a wicketkeeper batsman.
Yeah, or even Sanju Samsung. You know, he seemed to had a really good tour as well. So
Sanju Samson
um,
is there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, I think Sanju Samsung has had a really good, you know, he's got himself back. And Rishan Pant, you know, they may think about him for Test cricket, you know, and get him to focus on that.
Yeah. So last couple of questions from Aman and Anurag. Anurag to start. Aman follow up. Anurag, any questions? Last couple of questions of the day.
Yes. My question is related to the squad which has been announced of the Indian team. My simple question is that how do you think with so many experienced players in the Indian team, how is Shubman Gill going to be in this team? I mean, how is going to be a part of this team? Will he get a chance to play in this upcoming Australian tour, and how tough it will be for him?
Look, I don't think he should change his game plan. I think he should bat the way he's batting for KKR. You know, don't change that style. Play in the same style as he's playing. You know, don't try and, you know, think that he needs to score, you know, quickly. Bat the same way as he's doing for KKR because he's doing a good job. You know, he's doing a good job. So, and you know, he's the most talented cricketer I think after Virat Kohli. He's the next big thing apparently. So, you know, he needs to be given time to adjust to international cricket. And India doing the right thing. You know, they need to bring in some youngsters, invest in them, and say, right, these are the guys we're going to go with. And Shubnam Gill is one of them. Which you know, you got to give him time. You know, to adjust to international cricket, and he shouldn't actually think about. He should just think about the same way he's playing at KKR. I think that's his style. That's his natural style. You know, to bat the way he is batting. You know, like you know, strike rate of 120, 130, 120. That's the sort of batsman he is. He'll get like maybe 50 runs off like, you know, 40 balls, you know, 60 runs of like 45, something like that, you know, like he won't be in the sort of 200 strike rates or anything like that. But he you know, that's what the India team should expect from him as well. They shouldn't put him that under pressure to say, right, you know, we want you to now, you know, go higher with it. You know, I think that's how it should be.
So, do you envisage a place for Shubman Gill with KL Rahul in Rohit's absence, opening the innings?
Yes, it seems to be a perfect choice where KL Rahul can probably take on the sort of, you know, boundary option roles as the way he's hitting that ball. You know, he can be a bit more aggressive. Shubnam can actually just, you know, bat
Anchor
and
the
and, and
innings.
it's just nice. It gives him time, you know, it gives him time to adjust to international cricket a bit more better. Playing for your country is a big thing for any youngster. It's a completely different mindset, you know, when you're playing for IPL. And he's actually in a good position. You know, he's got some batters who are in good form, so it doesn't put so much pressure on him to, you know, to score loads of runs. And then if it's his day, yeah, we'll probably see the best of Shubnam Gill.
Yeah. And Mumbai Indians, someone with the name of Mumbai Indians has asked that why KKR sending DK consistently at number 4 where he's not performing. Why not Morgan come up the order? Mumbai Indians, just to tell you that Paji and I was having this discussion for the last half an hour. I think you joined late. But Paji, a quick word to Mumbai Indians as the answer, as we have had a lot of discussion on this.
Yeah, look. It's strange to think that Owen Morgan does so well for England at 4. Why wouldn't he bat there? And DK's, I think, a much better. But I think he should go at 6, if you ask me. 6 is a
Yeah.
good position for him. But again, Brendan McCullum, he calls the shots. If he wants, then if it pays off, then everyone's going to be applauding Brendan McCullum, and if it doesn't, then we'll be saying, look, you took the risk, and unfortunately, it didn't pay off. So, what can you do? That's sport for you.
It's smart. It's a game of small margins where coach is to be blamed and coach is to be praised.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, Aman, last question of the day, viewers, as we are running out of time and Paji also has to leave. So last question of the day, Aman, continue.
Yes, actually, I was really flabbergasted when you announced that when you were telling about the T20 squad. I didn't hear the name Suryakumar Yadav, as he previous year of IPL he was a top scorer for Mumbai Indians,
Yeah.
and this year also he scored 283 runs. Yeah, in 11 matches. Sir, what's your take on Suryakumar Yadav? What he did wrong?
He hasn't done anything wrong. He just hasn't performed well enough, to be honest. Other players are, performing up to like 400, 350, 400 runs. If he really wants to get into that squad, he's got to then compete, with the likes of the senior players in the India team who look, Virat Kohli, he's in the top 5. Okay, Rahul is there. If you want to be noticed, then get in
Mayank
the top
Agarwal
10.
even performed. Mayank Agarwal again even
Yeah, he
performed.
performed. Yeah, and that's why he's in the team now. So you got to be in the top 10. I think of the IPL run getters scoring. Sorry, for the year of the 2020, like this year. So next year, 2021, if you want to get in that India team, I need you to be in the top 10. I want your name to be in the top 10 to be for consideration, and it's simple as that. You can't make it so clear.
So it was the last question of the day, and now I'll take your leave along.
Okay.
A lot of thanks to Paji, Anurag, Aman, and all the viewers who've joined in. Thanks a
Yes.
lot. It's goodbye and good night from this side. And
Thank you.
tomorrow, tune in at 11:45 p.m. for the yet another interactive post-match analysis session. Goodbye.